A fuel cell is a device that generates electricity with the use of a chemical reaction. It works like a battery, but it does not run down or require recharging. Pervasive in all fuel cells, there are two electrodes, one that is positive, which is called the anode, and another that is negative, which is called the cathode. The reaction that produces electricity takes place at the electrodes. Every fuel cell also has an electrolyte. The function of the electrolyte is to carry electrically charged particles to one electrode to another. A catalyst is also present in every fuel cell. The catalyst speeds the reactions at the electrodes. In many fuel cells, the basic fuel is hydrogen. Fuel cells also require oxygen to function. The purpose of a fuel cell is to create energy that can be directed outside of the cell to achieve work. Oxygen will then enter into the fuel cell through the cathode, combining with electrons and hydrogen ions that have traveled from the anode. Together, the hydrogen and oxygen will form water, which will proceed to drain out of the fuel cell. As long as a fuel cell is supplied with hydrogen and oxygen, it will generate electricity. Fuel cells are very efficient in extracting energy from a fuel. Fuel cells also have great potential for the future. For example, Bloom Energy, an energy company that prides itself in changing the way the world generates and consumes energy, had unveiled a new fuel cell that promises to deliver an affordable and clean energy to many homes around the world. Bloom has claimed that they have found a way to eliminate the needs for expensive metals like platinum. They plan to generate electricity simply by utilizing sand and oxygen molecules. The Bloom box is capable of pumping out 100 kilowatts of electricity, each costing from about $700,000 to $800,000 per unit, claiming that prices will lower when production ramps up. If these Bloom boxes are successful, then many people will definitely be able to produce cleaner and more affordable energy using these fuel cells. Just as the Bloom Energy Company is striving to find cheaper alternatives for renewable sources of energy, the same idea has developed from researchers in the University of Edinburgh School of Engineering and Physical Sciences. Researchers have discovered a way to run fuel cells on urine, converting the urine to both electricity and clean water. They have utilized a compound in urine that is also known as urea, which could be considered more healthful to the environment. Urea is a non-toxic, rich in nitrogen, and always ready to be used. And because urea does not require any expensive catalysts, the researchers were able to discover an inexpensive method to convert urea into water, nutrient, carbon dioxide, and electricity. This method has the potential to generate large amounts of electricity cheaply, as well as reduce overall costs for utilities. Another innovative method of creating energy has come about in Pennsylvania State University. Researchers have now begun to utilize sewage to generate electricity. Combining a fuel cell with other technologies, water waste treatment stations are converted into power plants. Researchers claim that this new way of generating electricity will be very useful in many developing countries. They believe that companies should, instead of funding for water waste treatment stations, contribute their money to a generator of electricity. The new device combines two types of energy-producing technology: a microbial fuel cell, in which bacteria consume organic matter to produce a current, and a reverse electrodialysis system, in which positive and negative ions are separated by a series of membranes, also creating a current. The scientists say organic materials such as crop waste could be used to generate power in their device, but a negative aspect of the new idea is that it will be very expensive. In Japan, fuel cells are becoming more and more popular within Japanese families. Many of the homes in Japan now obtain electricity and hot water from the power generated from hydrogen fuel cells. The oxygen that the fuel cell uses comes from air. The hydrogen is extracted from a natural gas that is also combined with the fuel cell. There is a dangerous byproduct that is created during the process, carbon monoxide, so another machine is installed to add oxygen to create carbon dioxide. Although this gas will contribute to global warming, the researchers say, it is not poisonous. The entire process produces less greenhouse gas per watt than traditional generation, and no energy is wasted transporting the electricity where it's actually going to be used. The major problem to this method is, however, its cost. It is very expensive because they don't last very long, but there is a promise in price drops as technology advances. Fortunately, researchers are also working on a way to decrease the expensive prices of catalysts for fuel cells. In Aalto University in Finland, researchers have developed a method that consists of a noble metal nanoparticle catalyst for fuel cells that is prepared by using atomic layer disposition, or the ALD method. The biggest hurdle to jump, say the researchers, is the expensive cost of the catalyst. So instead of using platinum as a catalyst, scientists want to start utilizing palladium. Fuel cells can create electricity that produce very little or even no pollution. They are highly efficient, making more energy and requiring less fuel than other devices of equal size. They are also quiet and require low maintenance because there are no moving parts. Price is a big obstacle to overcome in the betterment of the fuel cell development. If researchers are able to conquer this problem, fuel cells will have a great potential in replacing the internal combustion engine in vehicles and provide power in stationary and portable power applications. Because they are energy efficient, clean, and fuel flexible, they will be a great benefit for many people in the future.